Hello, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me well? Hello, hello. Yes, let me check on my LinkedIn if you can hear me. This is my first time hosting the podcast in English and especially on the LinkedIn platform. So I'm not quite familiar with the platform. Apologize for some technical issue. Okay, all right. I see myself on LinkedIn and okay. Thank you everybody for joining me today. And this podcast, I literally wanted to host it last month, but I could not make it. So after I joined the NLP class last week, I decided I have to let it coming up. So this month, March, I'm aiming to start this podcast and hope you are gonna go along with me with the Self Evolution 101 podcast. So today is our first episode. And before we jumping into the first episode, let me show my, would you allow me to share my objective for making this podcast. So basically, I've been on the personal development for the last 5 years and have learned a lot of things, neuroscience, NLP, hypnotherapy, energy healing, spiritual awakening, self-actualization, and I found an online academic platform named Awaken Alchemist Academy 1.5 years ago. And I really want to do this because I believe that everybody would like to know who they really are and to become the true self, the authentic self, living their life on this planet and do what they love to do, what their mission are, and live their life purpose. Simply about that. But in order to get to that point, we need to know what really make us becoming us today, which is not the true self. And then we can work on the layer of those selves that laying under, laying above, or let's say the outer shell of our true self, so that we can become our true self and be authentic and be happy living your life purpose. So today episode, I'm gonna start about the journey of self-evolution. As being said, this podcast series named Self-Evolution 101. So I'm looking for organizing or hosting this podcast for 101 episodes on the weekly basis every Wednesday, 8 o'clock to 8 p.m. on my LinkedIn channel. All right. And you can also watch me on the YouTube channel and also on my on my Facebook page. All right. So let's dive in. Apologize if my English is not perfect because I'm not a native English speaker. Here we go. Einstein said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. So this sentence or this quote, I've been hearing about this quote for a while, actually like 3 years ago when I'm on the spiritual awakening journey. And I believe that some of you might hear about this quote as well. And why he said that? Because we are the spiritual being in the human body, right? And everything is energy, by the way. quantum physics know about this now in this days. So everything is energy. So we also vibrate in a certain level of frequency. And as you see on the left hand side, you can see the Hawking scales, the frequency. He make a scale of the emotion, or let's say the consciousness level, from low to high. And if we are vibrating in the certain frequency based on our emotion or consciousness, we're gonna match the same things that vibrate in the same frequency level. So that means, for example, if you are in the feeling of fear, which is low, is at about 100, then you're gonna attract something that vibrates in that level. And that is the law of attraction that we're gonna cover later in this series. So stay with me until the end of this episode. I show you small technique how to raise your vibration and how to become resilient so that you can have a good vibe on 24 hours basis. All right. Well, as I said, episode 1 is a journal of self-evolution. So in this episode, I will just give an introduction of the NLP and hypnotherapy, how the mind works, the krypton strength, understanding your unique talents, the energy work, aligning the mind, body, and spirit, the EFT or emotional freedom tapping. So how to this technique is being used for releasing the energy blockage and healing anxiety, stress, trauma, etc. And breath work, and last but not least, a little bit about manifestation. So by the end of this episode, you will find a roadmap for yourself, for your self-evolution to the next level. Everybody wants to be in the better version of themselves, right? So, or you don't want to. I believe you all want to be in the best version of yourself, and you can always be better. So, let's go ahead and have a look what it's all about from the list. From this episode until the end of this series, I would like you to keep asking yourself, who do you want to become tomorrow? And what's holding you back? And please keep that in mind as we are going deeper. All right. First of all, let's understand the power of mind and how your subconscious mind shapes your reality. 90% of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are controlled by the subconscious mind, or you can call it unconscious mind. And if we don't know how to reprogram our subconscious mind, or remove our limiting beliefs, or remove the negative thoughts, we are going to keep repeating the same patterns, like expressed via the conscious mind, becoming an action, becoming the words that we're saying to the other people. All of our behavior, let's say 95% of our behaviors and words and thought and everything else are coming from the subconscious mind, where we keep our information, our memories from when we are incarnate in our mother womb, right? So this is why the NLP coming in, and the hypnotherapy as well, because we gotta work with our mind. The 95% and 5% ratio is coming from Dr. Joe Dispenza. For some of you, if you are an LP practitioner, you might use 90 to 10%. And for me, it doesn't really matter 90 or 95 for the unconscious or subconscious mind, because there's no scale to measure that anyway, right? But the important thing is, how do you know that this behavior is coming from which event in the past of your life, in this lifetime? and what that event affect you from that timeline, what that event create belief in you and drive your conscious mind to do, to act, to say those things, to think those things. So being aware of subconscious driven behavior is really a must for us to evolve ourselves to the next level. And if someone don't know, if some of you don't know Dr. Joe Dispenza, he is a world-renowned author and speaker and doctor, chiropractor, and his famous book is Becoming Supernatural. I believe many of you are who are on the spiritual awakening, spiritual science, and quantum physics. I believe that most of you know about him. So, to explain more clearly about 5% and 95%, as you can see on this picture, you see the iceberg, right? The iceberg that is laid under the layer of the sea that the Titanic hit and sank, that they could not see. It's the same thing as our subconscious mind. The layer on the surface on the layer of ice on the surface, that's what Dr. Joe called or defined as the analytical mind. And above the surface, something that we see, the iceberg, wow, beautiful, but it's only 5%. That is compared to the conscious mind. All right, so all the conscious mind is working about the logic, things, plan, short-term memory, action, saying, being, behaving, etc. But the rest, long-term memory, emotional feelings, habits, behaviors, relationship patterns, involuntary body functions, automatic nervous system, creativity, development, stage of yourself, spiritual connection, intuition, that's all coming from 95%. So think about this. If you are a business owner or a CEO level or the director, and if you want to use your intuition plus the long-term memory that about what you have learned so far in your position to get to this point, and use that to make the decision for your work, for your business, just like this, immediately. What you have to do to be able to make the right and quick decision on your position. So you can access the information that is lie in your subconscious mind for a long time based on your experience, plus the intuition, the gut feeling, plus the logic that is from your conscious mind with the current situation. And then with all of this, you can make the quick decision. You know, I've been working on the oil and gas rig and in the position of drilling supervisor. Even though I was just the night supervisor, not the main supervisor, but I still have to make decision. And on the oil and gas rig, we have to make decision quick because it's a 24-hour operation. Not only quick, but right one. So we have to be able to make the right and quick decision. In order to do that, wow, we need a lot of experience. I will not dare to make decision that can cause a big effect on the operation, but that I will let to be on the hand of the lead person. So but now I am on my own business completely. I have the academy teaching about self-actualization and reprogramming the the conscious, reprogramming your mind, your brain, your subconscious mind to become a new person, coaching, hypnotherapy, and etc. So with all of the information that I have studied, with the past experience that I have to get back to my childhood and work on myself, all of those things that I have done so far, that information and experience and knowledge make me or drive, let's say, it drive me to be confident to host this kind of podcast. So today I was talking to ex-CEO, business owner, and I was talking about this blah 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 spiritual awakening, this and that and that, and then he asked me, look, how could you learn all about this? I am just 43 years old this year, and many people ask me, how could you learn about this? How could you come so far? How could you spend time on those kind of things that is out of our university? I have engineering background, bachelor degree and master degree, and I graduated master degree from Germany. So 20 years ago. Well, but you know what? I thought I have achieved what I have achieved, the money, or let's say the salary that I wanted by the age of 29. But then there was an exchange. I exchanged the good salary with, I lost relationship, I lost being myself, I lost friendship, I lost happiness. It's not worth it. There are different areas of lives that we have to look at. Not only about business, not only about 9 to 5 daily tasks, not only about love or relationship, everything. We have to look in all other areas of our life. Well-being of our body, physical body, mental well-being, and spiritual well-being. These three areas are the most important ones. So we have to kind of keep the balance on all the areas of our life. Otherwise, once we lose the balance, we are completely up, right? And by the age of 29, I got into the point of the up. So I started to talk myself, I have to get over this. This is not the life I want to be in the next 20 or 30 or 40 years until I retire. That was the start. So I started to actually work on myself 13 years ago with the experience. And I keep working on myself without taking any courses. I didn't know about any personal development course that time. Anyway, I believe that everybody in this entire world would like to have happiness from the inside, not from the materialized, not from the money that you own. You can own billions, but by the end of your life, you might realize that you should have more time for your family. You should have more time to take care of your health. You should have more time to meditate, to take care of your spiritual health, for example. Some people want to go to the spiritual way and don't care about the money at all. That's also not right. That is imbalance. So we are spiritual beings living in a human body on this planet. So what we should do is we should know how to balance our life as a human. And we have to know how the human brain and mind work. And don't let it take control over us. This is why I call this podcast series self-evolution. And first thing that I want to mention is the NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Program. The NLP is the way that we use our language, like human language, to communicate with our subconscious mind, to break through that analytical mind, bypassing the analytical mind, to trigger something in your subconscious mind and remove the limiting beliefs, the internal conflict, negative thought, negative emotion, bad behaviors, inner child trauma, um, etc. Right? So that we can release the energy blockage that has been there for a lifetime until the day that we know that we have stored that bad energy inside us. So this is how NLP works, right? So for example, the number one limiting belief in this world is I am not good enough. Once you once we understand the NLP, we're gonna change the language to be I am constantly growing and evolving, for example. That already sounds better. But then, deeper than that, we will find out why we have this belief of I am not good enough. And then, once we find out that root cause, we can accept that event or words and reframe the sentence that we are gonna program our subconscious mind. So this is very important, guys. Next one, hypnotherapy. The hypnotherapist, we don't talk much. We make the we make ourselves. You can do self hypnosis easy. Put on your binary beats and write a script. Take a deep breath, and your brain will be tuned down to theta, and you'll be in trance, and then you can self hypno yourself. Or you can go and see the hypnotherapist, and you'll be in trance. He will lead you into your hypnosis state, and you hypnotize yourself. But the hypnotherapist will guide you. So that's a different. And with those hypnotherapists, they have experience, so they have the way how to ask, how to talk to you with the uh, like half conscious, right from the beginning. And the next concept is about the neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity. The neuroplasticity works based on two concepts. Number one, nerve cells that fire together, wire together. All right. So, and number two, nerve cells that no longer fire together, no longer wire together. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Same like you learn how to let's say I'm a scuba diving instructor. My students came and took a course with me 20 years back. I mean, then, okay, for the scuba diving course, we have to go through the exercise and do the real diving for 4 days, right? Continuous 4 days. Then, well, in 4 days, people learn how to dive. But then if they don't use the skill that they learn, after 6 months, they forget. And that's why we need to refresh. Same like you. If can you think about some skill or some knowledge that you learn but you don't use it for a long time, and then when you want to use it again, it's kind of how to do this. I cannot remember it all, right? So this is neuroplasticity. It's like the neural network will bind together, but then if you don't use that neural network, it will deplete over time and it become weak, and then at the end you lose it. You lose the skills. Okay. The next concept that I'm gonna mention in this podcast is strength. So I am a certified strength coach from Gallup. They use positive psychology and they make a category of strength into 34 strengths. And with this, when you do the test or the assessment, then they will tell you the rank from strength number 1 to 34. And then you apply the top 5 strengths that should be actually sufficient for your personal development first. Okay. you apply that strength on your daily basis on everything you do. Being aware of your strength is very important. Otherwise, you waste time doing assessment for 1 hour. You waste money to buy the assessment. So once you have the money, once you have the result of assessment, and you sit down, you read through the report, then you might think, what's next I have to do? That's why the coach come in. So if you are very good in self-coaching, you can just put the top 5 strengths in front of you, of your desk, uh, uh, in the back of the wall of your bed, and you look at it every single day, and then telling yourself who you are, what strengths you have, and use that strength on a daily basis, on your business, on your relationship, on your time management, on your self-love activity. Then you will find that only after a week, your energy already shifts to the next level because you becoming yourself. You use your strength to do something that you are doing on the daily basis. That is the easiest way to coach yourself with the strength. But if you want to go deeper and you want to use strength to on something else, like weight loss, like financial planning, like achieving, let's say, achieving the podcast, that's what I use, podcast series, then feel free to seek for a coach, right? So then you have an idea from coach, and then we can work together to get you there to your goal using your strength only. Right. The next concept in this series is I'm gonna talk also about the energy work and chakra, because I'm very spirituality, even though I have an engineering background and I'm a coach, and also but I also study about quantum physics and the energy, right? So actually everything is connected, body, mind, and spiritual, right? So the energy is something that we don't see, but we feel. We know that it's there. What you know that the energy is always there. Some people might know the chakra system from root chakra up to the crown chakra, 7 energy centers in our body. So in order to make our energy centers of these 7 chakras align in the straight line and have the balanced energy. Oh, we have to work on ourselves. We have to be true self. We have to be authentic. We have to be able to express our feeling. Don't keep it in. We have to remove our fear, our shame, our anger, and so on. Otherwise, what happens is once the energy is overloaded in that area of body, it's gonna cause the sickness of your physical body. So this is why people get sick without doing something, but then suddenly cancer from what? Maybe internal conflict, and then boom, one day this detected. So nowadays, there are many people having the mental health issue, right? First of all, the energy body is not balanced, it's not energized, it's not right. Then come the mental health issue, then come the physical health issue. So that's why energy work is also very important to step to the next level, because if you don't know about the energy work, you're gonna need the healer, like maybe Reiki healer, and remote healing. Nowadays, people know that we can do remote healing based on quantum entanglement, right? So that is energy work. Then another kind of energy work with the easy technique that you can do at your own is called EFT, or emotional freedom technique. They're gonna, I mean, you can use your finger just to tap on acupressure points in your body, like karate chop, eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose and chin, collarbone, underarm, and top of the head. And this kind of technique, the psychologists also use to reduce stress and treat the PTSD and anxiety, trauma healing, powerful. So if you want to know more about this technique, go ahead and look on the internet. Uh, it's 8:30 and I apologize. Okay, I will not take longer than 5 more minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go quick. So the breath work, all right? Breath work is very important, and as I am a breathwork instructor, I actually have big passion in breathwork. That's why I study very deep about breathing exercise or breathwork, or actually the ancient yogi they call pranayama. Okay, the Western way we call breathwork. Whatsoever. What we need to know is the breath is very important to our life. It's the vital energy that we have in ourselves. It's free. We can control it, but we never known that it's that important. I'm gonna tell you some benefits when you know how to breathe properly. The first one in this picture, it can help regulate your stress, emotions, and nervous system, especially the vagus nerve, the longest one on the parasympathetic system. So if you do certain kind of breathing exercise, you're gonna stimulate the vagus nerve, and after let's say 30 seconds, you become more relaxed. How good is that? Another benefit is from the inhale through the nose and holding the breath a little bit, you can increase the nitric oxide in your body, and the nitric oxide itself will help in vasodilation, which means the expanding of the diameter of your blood vessels that can lead to lower the blood pressure and better blood flow, and of course oxygen flow. Another benefit of breath work, you can alter state of consciousness, meaning the brainwave as well, and the five common brain waves that, well, the four common brain waves that we heard are beta, alpha, theta, and delta, right? Now, some of you might hear gamma, which is the highest in the normal language, but as a spirituality area, we have lambda nowadays. Some people mention about that, which is the highest level and it's a very, very high state of consciousness. You can find in Tibetan monk, and the lowest one called epsilon, which is from 0 to 0.5. You have bliss, or you seems like you are dead. But it's not easy to access those two states. It needs practice. Okay. So other benefits from breath holding and from free diving, but this is me in the photo, by the way. When I did free diving, like my body, my fitness is getting much better. My endurance to sport is much better because it helped me increase the CO2 tolerance. It increased the red blood cells, and only these two things is already good for the body. So for the people who like to perform sports at their best performance, breath work is another key to enhance your performance. So there are some kinds of breath work for the transformation that is mentioned here: DMT breath work, coherent breathing, Victoria's breath, box breathing, and 1 minute breath hold. So I will just mention only 5 for transformation. There are so many, but with only these 5 breath work exercise, you will already be able to switch your brain wave into trance, into theta, into gamma, and be able to resilient your emotion. You remember the emotional scale from Hawking? You can be resilient. You can get over your low or negative emotion very, very fast, and you can keep your vibe in the high level. So I'm gonna skip this as we are running out of time. So I just give you the trick and then you can try. So the very easy one breath work technique that uh, I can share with you that you should try is box breathing. So you're gonna inhale 4 seconds and then hold for 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and hold for 4 seconds. Keep doing like this. Keep repeating, maybe 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Okay. We, so last but not least, manifestation. Wow, this is high content, high value content. So I believe that many of you would like to know how to manifest your reality like this 100%, right? And actually, there is a neuroscience behind the manifestation, right? We have the thing in our brain we call reticular activating system that is filtering the information that's what we want to see, to hear, right? So for example, if you are just programming your mind, okay, you want to see only the red car on the streets today. When you walk out, you're just gonna see the red car. Maybe you specify the Mercedes red car, then you're gonna see the exact model of that car on the street everywhere. But if you didn't program that before, you will not notice how many cars like this on the street. And that is called reticular activating system. And we all the time we are in the society that many people are talking around us. And if our brain, okay, let's say if you're sitting in front of your friend and you're talking to your friend, or let's say your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and you're listening to that person, right? Your ears gonna catch the words uh, from that person only, not the words or the noise of the thing around you. And this is also the function of RAS. So if you focus on something, your brain has superpower. You're gonna get it, and you can manifest that, right? And with the manifestation, here come 3 laws. If you want to be able to manifest 100%, you've got to know the law of attraction, the law of vibration, maintaining your vibe. Then you're going to attract the same vibe you are, and the law of assumption. So feel it, feel, feeling is the key. That is the law of assumption. So you have to assume that you are already getting that thing, you're already in that state, you are the abundance, you're already having a lot of money, and you have to behave that now that you already got those things that you want in your life. But you know what? This law of manifestation will become true and easy for you only if you remove your shadow self, you remove your limiting beliefs, you remove your emotional blockage. Because deep down in your unconscious mind, you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes you did not know that, oh, this limiting belief is really deep in your subconscious mind from your childhood, from past life, from when you are in your mother womb. You never know about this before. Once you unlock it, you remove those limiting beliefs, you remove negative emotion, negative feelings about the money, consciously removed. Then it's not there anymore. Now, then you can manifest whatever you want. If you want to manifest money, once you remove the blockage, go for it. You will be able to manifest it. Another thing is you have to keep working on the energy of your energy center all the time. So self evolution is not only a goal, it's a journey. It's not a destination that you hit it, you hit this goal, you arrive, and then you stop. No, it's a lifelong journey. So I do breath work every morning, meditation, and I love myself. I do exercise. I feed my spirit with reading the books. So you got to find something that you really love to do and do it right in the morning. Writing the journal, gratitude, saying thank you to yourself, to the universe, to your friends, to whatever. Making you becoming in the state of receiving abundance. All right. So let's try whatever that I mentioned today. If you want to go deeper, continue joining my episode. I mean, my series. Okay, so this is gonna be wow, big breakthrough for everyone who is sticking with me on my podcast series. All right, so next episode, we dive deeper into NLP and hypnotherapy, how they reprogram your mind for success. All right. Thank you for joining me today. And if you want to follow me on my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Just type my name, Krunuk or Pusanisa, and I think you'll find it. And my photos looks the same on every platform. All right. And for the Thai people, I really thank you that you joining me in the international podcast today. And for the English speaker people, if I'm not that good as you are, because I'm not a native one. So I'm on the way to practice myself to become an international speaker. So any feedback for this episode, I'm welcome to receive. And thank you very much for joining me today on the episode number 1. And see you again next Wednesday. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye. สวัสดีค่ะ